was the tape? So, this is a recap, or a primer of Season 1 of Dire Society, in preparation for the impending arrival of Season 2, which will be very different, but the same. So, do you remember this? What was I thinking? Anyway, let's go. It all started, as so many heinous things do, at a spin class. Your innocuous interest in physical fitness led you to the court of Ricardo Zizzi, a slimy and sadistic man who exploited a well-situated downtown space that belonged to his father and was used as a honey trap to feed his familial cult with fresh victims. Offering you a well-paid waiting job at what was framed to be a high society get-together, you were eager to accept his offer and needed the extra money. To prepare for the event, he gave you a password, as well as a suggestion to seek out 2 of his associates, a jaded drag queen called Valencia Viagra, and a listless socialite named Elissa. Or is it Erissa? No, don't know. As per your instructions, you firstly visited Valencia, a waning ember of grand memories doused beside a pool. Their objective was to cake you in makeup so that you would be baked just right for the evening ahead. And, though their means and objectives were underhanded, you felt that they dealt you fair in warning, or perhaps even gifted sympathy for the unknown trials that lay ahead. And what lay immediately ahead was your second appointment, a photo shoot with the epitome of ennui, Erissa, as she languished on the bed before you, lazily snapping your image and snipping at your character. She too seemed to develop an inexplicable empathy towards you, but perhaps merely the foreshadow of shame over the fate that was to befall you. For then came the party. A peculiar Antipodean man awaited you at the entrance of the estate. As before, breadcrumbs of caution and piecemeal protests were presented, as if warning you not to enter, but insisting that you do. The veiled threats and whispered warnings were tested to be true, for at the party in proper, the host, named Hugo Hoffman, revealed that you were, indeed, to be a blood sacrifice to a god that he and his coven, those who had accosted you prior, worshipped to gain artificial longevity and youth to their own sordid lives. And this was to be your fate, kept as cattle until these monsters had bled you dry. The end. Just kidding. But here is the bodyguard bursting through the door and laying waste to the original trickster who tricked you through no intelligence, but perhaps by design. He decries his own ineptitude and warns of horrors to come. Doom and gloom approach as he attempts to make good your escape. Drained of blood and sapped of spirit, Onto a thoroughfare of tarmac he raced against the moon, pursued by fears made flesh, tasked with returning you to your captors. Upon a moment of respite, the man called Gabriel spins a spurious tale about being a guard at the Holy See, a Swissman sponsored to observe Hoffman and his coterie, but take no action. Then action found you both, as doom and gloom descended, shooting your saviour and retaining you for their ends. The lovers secreted you in a dank location, revealing their chaotic means and ends through torture most foul, when all it would seem was lost to you, an act of God, perhaps, allowed for rescue. A beam of consecrated light shone down from the sky, rendering gloom to ashes, but leaving doom engulfed in rage, only shy of ending you for the song of the sirens. The exhumed corpse of a long-buried knight champions your cause for his own, his foresight guided by the flagellation of his being and personal loss. He swore to help you and free you when able, but first you must confront the grand evil that has haunted you. Hoffman was revealed to be the district attorney, a man with no small amount of power, but perhaps too weak of himself to assume his own. In the hubris of one so weak, he revealed key information regarding his bizarre family, notably that his children, the recently departed Ricardo and erstwhile Erisa, were adopted, and that the former was an informant for the Federal Bureau. Similarly, Gloom, the agent of chaos, was in fact a U.S. Marshal, a station that granted him freedom seemingly above the rule of law. Hugo seethed through impotent rage that his daughter was missing, blaming you for the abscondment and threatening your very being, and told you what he perceived you to be: a monster, a demon, a dragon from hell. He then left you to your fate, giving the good cop a chance to take you to your departed ally. A moment of silence as death awoke in Vatican City. The Father Superior, Grand Assassin for the Pontiff, was presented a mission to eliminate both Gabriel and you, a prospect that provided the anti-pious prostrator with pronounced pleasure. Back with your bodyguard, the suspiciously Australian Swiss guardsman thanked the good cop for the work, before revealing to you that he had, in fact, been the one who kidnapped Hoffman's daughter. In a characterfully distracted moment, while Gabriel is on the telephone, Erisa explains that she has been working with the FBI and can help you, and that it was in fact Valencia who had helped to rescue you from doom and gloom, but also tells you that she believes that you are a demon. How can this be so? Gabriel, who has been excommunicated from the church, doesn't believe you are a demon. He calls you Angel, after all, and says that he will take you to someone who can prove it. Simon was a strange man. Using mercury, he cured your wounds and went about confidently explaining what you were and how he knew it. The kindly pharmacist and shaman clarified that you could not be a demon for the simple fact that you did not know what you were, and that evil knows evil, but good often does not know itself. He also intimated that demons did not tend to inhabit the earth, whereas when an angel died in heaven, it was reborn here to live another life. And he presented you with a pill, the Heaven's Gate, an ejector seat for the soul. This pill would ensure the safe return of your soul to whence you came, which was encouraging to recall, given that while on earth you would be subject to the rules of the mortals, including going to hell if you should accrue enough sin. Quelle surprise! Upon your return to the wretched room you were previously staying, Erisser is gone. But a tender moment rarely felt is ruined by the sound of a machine gun. The Father Superior was close to his quarry, sure to steal you away, but upon his failure, the Swiss guardsman attempted to steal a kiss and failed, and also failed to anticipate the presence of an FBI agent. An angry, angry man with his dog and bone, the Superior to Hoffman, left his home to get angrier still, I expect, while a peculiar man known only as Sam slew the shaman and ordered a cat to track down his paramour. An agent named Tikva encased you in wire to trap those she had been tracking for some time. The uproar of Gabriel's actions and your previous capture had left her investigation in tatters. In order to make right what was wrong, she enlisted your help. One final effort to put an end to the monstrous happenings that had been going on long before you had fallen victim to them. And so, a gunfight in hell was where we last met. It would be wrong at this point to go into too much detail for fear of revealing too much of what is to come. Rewatch the last episode. There's very little in the way of narrative, but it leads up to where we're going, and suffice to say, there was a firefight that few seemed to survive. But can the dead really die, Astarte? Anyway, that was a lightning-fast recap of Season 1 of Dice Society, missing out lots and lots of key tidbits of information, so if you feel so inclined, you can watch it again. And you know that there are loads of secret messages spliced throughout it, so there's always that to look forward to. The next season will be with you soon. And the next season, as I said, is very different. You'll meet someone new. And you might be someone new. But then